day of protest across many countries in Europe, supported by European Milk Board.
The reason why I came out to protest today is to let people see there is a problem. Everybody thinks that farmers, they get grants and all this here. We don't want grants. If we got a fair price for our produce, we don't need handouts. And that's our problem. If we get precisely what we get to pay for what we produce and a standard rate for that, we don't need grants, anything like that. And that's why I felt that we had to be out today.
Well, as it was myself and a few colleagues of farmers around us got together and said we're going to join a group because there was no group here supporting dairy farmers in Northern Ireland. And then the support we got was unbelievable. So we've just built and built, and we hope we keep building.
We have lived on the same farm from 1900. I am the fifth generation. We used to do beef, sheep and dairy, but as things have gone on, we have gradually gone more into the dairy, and we've gone more that way. On our family farm, it's my mother, my father and myself, and we work together. So
we're dairy farmers from Cloney, and it goes back over a few hundred years, and I don't want to be the link that breaks the chain. So we're out here creating awareness to the shoppers and the pedestrians of Belfast, to just tell them what farm gate prices we're getting and what currently they're paying for in the shop.
Farmers for Action for 18 months now, along with the Northern Ireland Agricultural Producers Association, have been pushing very hard for legislation on farm gate prices. In other words, a safety net for the farmers here in Northern Ireland. And we've been pushing Stormont, we've been pushing our political representatives. We've got favourable responses from some of the political parties, but we need to push harder at it. It's coming up to election time, and we will be on the politicians' backs because we feel that this is the backbone industry of this country, and we need only look at the last few weeks and see the amount of jobs, especially in manufacturing, that are disappearing. We're going to see that happen in agriculture if we're not very careful. And we had some very good industries in this country. Our politicians need to step up to the mark.
The average cost of production in Northern Ireland is about 26-28p. Summertime costs are a wee bit lower, and the wintertime costs rise due to the increase of housing costs and extra concentrate feeding for animals. The farmers are producing the milk now. They're getting paid 18 to 20 pence for it, and they're losing approximately 8 to 10 pence a litre.
Do you think that the general public understands?
I'm actually surprised, but some people do understand, and they asked us where we could shop for locally sourced milk and stuff like that there, but others didn't really understand, and we had to explain to them. So we've got our point across so far, so good.
Earlier this year, back in August, we had young farmers here out clearly highlighting the difficulties within the sector. Our own organisation has carried out protests for some considerable time now, right across the UK, and are very prominent at all protests. And we see that protesting most certainly does work, because it highlighted the plight of the dairy farmer, the protest that took part earlier in the year. And we saw some movement from the EU with aid and help to the plight of dairy farmers as they stand at the minute. But it's right across the board. This is not only dairy, and we stress this point. Right across every sector of agriculture, we are seeing years of mismanagement, and not only by UK governments, consecutive UK governments, but also by the EU. And we very much feel now, with the EU referendum coming up, that we must look very carefully at our position within the EU as far as agriculture is concerned, because we are being bombarded with red tape, bureaucracy, rules, regulations, and every time we comply it costs us money, and every time we see no reward for what we are doing here, because after all we are producing quality food to the highest standards. And it's something that I can't emphasise enough to people. Are you going to let this food disappear off the shelves, and are we going to see cheaper imports that don't meet the standards? And what price will food be costing us if we let the local constant supply disappear? And farmers are we're only looking for a fair slice of the cake. I don't want anyone to think that we're looking for an overinflated. The slice of the cakes, we're not being delivered the slice of the cake. It's there, and we need it.
We have been told there's no money. There's schemes coming out there at the minute with millions of pounds of grants from Europe for farmers, which has to be match funded, but the farmers won't have any money to match fund it, so I don't understand why some of this money can't be put back into farming. The Belgian farmers, their government has subsidised them £2.7. Spanish farmers have given their farmers money. The French farmers have supported their agricultural industry, and agriculture is the biggest employer in Northern Ireland. Over 100,000 people directly employed. The next closest is tourism at 43,000. And if agriculture goes, I just wouldn't like to see the state of the country.
If there isn't a future, I wouldn't be here. I want to carry on the family farm. We have been doing it for generations. We are in a dip at the moment, but it depends how many farmers can actually hold out. But if we hold in and tighten our belts, all being well, we'll be able to stay on for the next few generations ahead.